Hello all, and welcome to the next unboxing video. This time we're going to look at something a little bit different. We're going to look at a wrestling figure, but not a Mattel or an AEW figure. We're going to be looking at the Super 7 Ultimates Andre the Giant, the eighth wonder of the world, as you can see, 7'2", 520 pounds, as he was booked back in the 70s. So this is kind of a interesting figure. This is their first wrestling one, right? And then next up is going to be the New Japan figures. So this is kind of a precursor to those, and we're going to kind of see how this is. Maybe it'll give us an idea of how those New Japan figures are. I have a young Andre. I have the Jax young Andre with the blue tights and the red boots and the kind of afro. But this is cool. I'm excited to have this. It comes with the vest and everything. I was real iffy on buying it because when they first released those head scans, they did not look good at all. I'm just gonna say that now. They looked pretty ass. But then they fixed them. They did fix them like they said they would, and they look better. So I'm excited to see how they look. Super 7 Andre the Giant. It comes in a mailer box, kind of like you would see with a sideshow or Hot Toys or something. They come in like a brown box. You take it out of there, and then there's your actual box. So that's pretty cool. I like the Super 7 boxes. I have a few other Super 7s I haven't opened yet, like Thundercats and Ninja Turtles. And those have really cool boxes too. As you can see, you got Andre on the sides, which is interesting because this is kind of not younger Andre. Like, he's got the short hair and everything, but it's, I mean, it's young Andre, but it's more like early 80s, not 70s. But the Andre inside of here is supposed to be like Andre with the poofy afro and all that stuff. Either way, I like the boxes. I like it does have pictures on the sides. You got the big kind of like poster layout on the front, a big thing on the back, from Grenoble in the French Alps. Yeah, I like it. I wish I had the room to just keep all the boxes, but I don't, so I'm probably gonna end up throwing it away, which sucks. But hey, and it's a slipcase, so you just kind of get that off, and then there's your figure. Yeah, I think the head sculpts look better, but looking at it in person, I don't think they're perfect still. But I mean, they look better for what they are. Super 7 is a little bit more kind of on the cartoony side too, so we'll kind of see how it goes. I like that the window box has like the ring ropes kind of going and everything. I do like that. That's pretty cool. Back of the box has his little bio. So there you go with that. See, now that's more younger Andre right there. The one here, not so much. This one kind of is. You can see he's kind of got the afro. He's not wearing the knee pads yet, stuff like that. There you go, 7'2", 520, Grenoble, France. Yeah. So there's his little bio if you want to pause and read it. Cool. And then we have Andre. So, yeah, let's crack this guy open and we will go from there. Wow. Well, that just came off so damn easy. Just like that. I guess if you wanted to save the box, screw it now. I wasn't going to, but if you are, be careful when you open that. That just tore right out. So, there we go. Kind of a cool little backdrop, like it's got spotlights. I guess if you wanted to use that for some kind of figure photography, cool. If not, cool. Oh, he's got a twist tie, one you don't have to like completely cut, but I'm going to cut anyways just to make that quicker. Interesting thing with this is kind of fascinating. I didn't know this Andre was coming with a hard plastic jacket in addition to the one that he already has, which is a cloth jacket. So that's kind of fascinating. We're going to have to see about some of that stuff. Did something fall? Felt like something fell out of the box. I don't think so, though. Might have just been his jacket I was feeling. I think so. Okay, so here we have Andre. We'll get into some of his accessories first. We have in package, he's got the open hands, like the microphone hands. And then we've got closed-fisted hands. We have an open palm hand. I guess if you wanted to do like a slap with that, you could. I don't really think I'd be using those hands much, to be honest. And then we have the hands that are a little bit more open. And I think these are the ones that can hold the little beer can, which is another cool thing about this Andre. There's the other one. He comes with this tiny, tiny beer can. Which says, I think, Giant Canadian. But Andre, you know, there's a lot of iconic pictures of him holding a beer can, and it is like the tiniest thing in his hand. So there you go. It doesn't stick in well, but you can kind of balance it on the pinky. See, it falls. Yeah, it doesn't stick in there too well. Let me try the other hand. There you go. Again, if you lean it too much, it's going to fall out. I'm sure it'd fit better in his open hand, like that, like the ones that are already on him. But there you go. There's like the size comparison. They purposely made the can smaller to make it look like his hand was more massive. And I like that effect. That's cool. We've never had an Andre with that kind of iconic beer can image. So I actually do really like that. That's really good. We have one of his alternate heads. One of his interchangeable heads. It looks better. It looks more like a young Andre than the one that they were going to come out with before. It's like a rubber. The hair is almost like a rubber, not a hard plastic like you get with other wrestling figures. That's kind of cool. It looks more like a young Andre than the ones they had first shown. So I'm happy they changed it. I still don't think it's perfect, but I think it's a good change for sure. Here is a different Andre. This, I think, is supposed to be kind of like Andre as his hair is getting shorter, obviously. Still young, though. Yeah. Am I the only one who thinks it kind of looks like Lou Ferrigno? I don't know. I don't know why. It kind of looks off. I like this one, though, so at least there's something. Let's see if we can get Andre himself out of here. Oh, okay. Super7, let's go. Let's see if we take those off. I'm wearing a Band-Aid because I did cut myself. Not opening anything. I was actually making food and I cut myself. So here we have the Super7 Andre. He's got nice tight joints. Very articulated. The best way I can kind of describe this for somebody who maybe hasn't owned a Super7 is think of like the WWE Ultimate Editions where they have a torso joint as opposed to an ab crunch. Everything else is pretty similar, to be totally honest. I mean, the quality might be a little bit better because he's a more expensive figure, so you might have a bit of a better plastic with this. But all in all, I'm really impressed. I like the coat. I like the cloth coat. I mean, he looks pretty good. I think he's about the right size for young / kind of getting older Andre. I think the giant Rusimov is going to be our best young Andre. But I like this one too. It looks cool. I do wish we had something other than the black and the blue. I do think the red and or the blue trunks with the red boots would have been cool, even though Jax already did that look. I think it would have been a little bit more iconic looking. But I'm very impressed with this. Like I said, I've never had a Super7 before, so and if you don't like the cloth jacket, it comes with a hard plastic one. So that's interesting. I wonder if that's a running change or not. Like, I wonder if he was supposed to come with a hard plastic one, and then maybe just through complaints they gave him a cloth one instead, but kept this in there because it was already produced. Or vice versa. Maybe some people didn't want the cloth one, they wanted the hard plastic one, which why you would want the hard plastic one, I don't know. Cool that it's there, though. If you want to keep, like, your cloth one on the Super 7 and give the hard plastic one to, like, your old Jax Andre, your old Jax WWE Classic Superstars Andre or something, that'd be cool. Like, this looks like it would work for that Andre, to be totally honest. But interesting to have. We'll go ahead and take it out of the plastic. And yeah, that's basically what it is. It's like a hard plastic, kind of like the ones you get with Mattel. A little bit more loose than the ones with Mattel, a little bit more flimsy, which is probably good in terms of like getting it on and off. I like it, but I like this cloth one way more, so I'm going to keep the cloth one on. I'm going to take it off for now, though, so we can get a better look at Andre himself. So we have Andre. He's kind of got a big smiling face on. Arms, legs, no knee pads. His waist is pretty tight. There we go. It's moving now. His legs go up. I like one thing that this figure did do. The ball joints are black on the inside, so it looks like it's part of the trunks. That is awesome. I like that effect. So great there. His arms, he's got pretty good... Like I said, it's a lot like a WWE Elite. Not an Elite, a Ultimate Edition with the torso thing. He looks pretty good. I mean, overall, I think his size is pretty right. He could be maybe a little bit more less in the gut there, but I get they're trying to go for, like, he was getting bigger, even though, like, it's younger Andre, he was getting bigger at the time. I might put this head on it. Let's see how hard that is to change out. Not too bad getting it off. Let's see how bad it is getting it on. Not bad at all. That went on pretty easy. On and off pretty easy. I like this head more. I think this is my favorite of the three heads. Just kind of like the stern face Andre, the expressionless Andre. I think it looks a little bit more like him than the other ones. So I'm probably going to keep this head sculpt on when I do my stuff. Let's see if we can get the beer can into the hands that he has here, see if it's any better. Yep, there you go. Way better. Yeah, tiny beer can. Awesome. I like that. That's probably my favorite. Like that and the coat, probably the favorite things about this figure. But yeah, it looks great with this head sculpt. I'm not the biggest fan of the other head sculpts, to be totally honest with you. I think this one's not as bad, like the Smiling Andre. Still, I like this one more. I think it works a little bit better for what it's going for. But we have that, and let's see if we put the hard plastic coat on, what that's going to kind of look like. Okay, there we go. So there's the hard plastic coat. It looks good for what it is. It looks like what you would see with like a Mattel coat or the old Jax coats. But this cloth one is way better. I like this one a lot more with the tassels coming off and everything. I'd probably take this one and maybe put it on a different Andre. Maybe my Jax Andre with the blue trunks and red boots and the big afro. I think it would work great on that. I'd have to dig it out, but or since we're getting that Japanese Monster Rusamov from Super 7, maybe you could take the robe off of that and give him this instead. We'll see. We'll see what that one comes with too. We don't know. I don't think we've seen all the accessories that one's coming with. I like it though. I do like it. See how hard this is to actually get off now. This might be the kicker, huh? Oh, there we go. Not bad. It's like flimsy enough to get on and off pretty easily. Which is a good thing. If it was like a super hard plastic, that would have really sucked. I wonder why it came with both. I wonder why. I didn't keep up with the production of this figure, so I don't know if like, was it supposed to come with this and people complained so they made a cloth one, or vice versa? I don't know. So now we're going to get into a little bit of a comparison. In one of my other videos, I unboxed the WrestleMania 3 basic Andre that just came out. And there he is. As you can see, the Super 7 one is actually taller. Just a little bit, but it might be because of the hair, actually. Either way, it is a little bit taller. There you go. So this one, obviously, because he doesn't have a torso thing going, his articulation is nowhere near as good as this one. I think everybody knows this is probably going to be an overall better articulated and quality figure. Here's the difference, though. As much as I like this figure and I like this head sculpt, I actually believe the Mattel has a better head sculpt. I think it looks more like Andre, especially older Andre. I would say maybe it could switch out one of these heads and put it on this one, but the skin tone's off. Like, they're two different skin tones. This is younger tan Andre. This is older, more pale Andre. So, but yeah, I actually think the Mattel has a better head sculpt. I really do. Even compared to like the Super 7 box, I think the Mattel has a better head sculpt. But this is an overall better figure, if that makes sense. Better head sculpt on the Mattel, better overall figure with articulation and everything, probably from the Super 7. Because it's an Ultimate and costs a lot more, has a lot more articulation than this basic that came with the ring cart. But there's kind of a comparison. Super 7's a little bit taller, way more articulated, but I'm gonna give it the overall win. Just because, like I said, it's a more expensive figure, more articulation, way more accessories. This one came with a ring cart, which is cool, but it wasn't an accurate ring cart. However, the one thing that this one wins on is I think the Mattel has the better head sculpt. So that would be the biggest thing there, would be this one has a better head sculpt. And you can't really switch it unless you were to paint this head to be more accurate to the skin tone. But yeah, there's your two comparisons. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy's the cloth jacket back on this one because I like it so much more than the hard plastic one. So there we go. There is our Super 7 Andre, the eighth wonder of the world. I like it. I do. I think it's a great figure. I think the New Japan figures are going to be even better, just based on those head scans. They look way more accurate than this Andre does. Not that this Andre is bad. I just think the New Japan figures look more like who they're supposed to be. And I already have both Wave 1 and 2 of those pre-ordered, so I'm excited for that. I will be getting those and unboxing those. But yeah, I'm happy for this. I do like it. Overall, it's great. I just think the Mattel beats it out just a little bit in the head sculpt department. But that is my first Super 7 unboxing and it was of Andre. I have some more Super 7 stuff. I've got the first wave of Thundercats. I have the first 2 waves of the Ninja Turtles. Well, 2.5 waves. I'm missing a couple of those I gotta find. And I actually have a Super 7 Toxic Avenger I'm going to eventually open. And then I got the order for the 2 of the Super 7 Conan figures. I've got the iconic Pose Conan and Thulsa Doom on the way. So I'm growing to really like Super 7. Same thing with Storm Collectibles. I'm really growing. I got some Street Fighter Storm Collectible stuff I'm going to be looking at eventually. Don't know if I'll video all of those, but just because there's a lot of them. Yeah, like, happy with it. I like the beer can. I think that's like the funniest part of this. And I like the expressionless head scan, or head sculpt, not so much. The smiling one's not that bad. And I really don't like this one. This one looks off to me. But yeah, there's your Super 7 Andre, the first one, the Ultimates of younger Andre. And, you know, maybe I'll contemplate getting the Monster Rusamov Japan Andre. We'll see. But thank you, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.